willing to wait until next year to see what the courts decide on this issue.
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the question, but I would like to address the committee and address the audience first before I make a motion.
You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the opportunity to make a statement before I offer a motion on this bill. Mr. Chairman, as you can imagine, I've heard from many citizens of our state, from Johnson City to Memphis, since I became the prime sponsor of this bill just 5 days ago. Many who were against this bill, but also many thanking me for trying to protect the religious freedoms of business owners in Tennessee. We have hundreds of businesses in this state owned by people of faith who are looking around and seeing what has happened and is happening across our nation. They've read the stories of the baker in Colorado, the photographer in New Mexico, the venue owner in New Jersey being sued for not offering their services in same-sex weddings, and they hope those lawsuits are not coming to Tennessee. Another example of this is the Mennonite couple in Iowa who worked for 11 years to refurbish an old church into an art gallery and bistro. The business owners, the Odegaards, were sued by a same-sex couple for not allowing the couple to have their wedding at the refurbished church. The business owner said the refusal didn't come from an angry place and that they have hired and served gays and lesbians at their venue. I have nothing against gays and lesbians, nothing, Betty Odegaard told the Des Moines Register. I just personally believe that a marriage is between one man and one woman. I don't condemn or judge anybody else for their beliefs or how they live their life. A daughter of a Mennonite pastor, Betty said she counts her faith as a very big part of who she is. Betty said, people know that I am a woman of faith and that we are a couple of faith. We wanted people to know that this church expresses our faith. I took on this bill with the idea of protecting the religious freedom of our state's business owners, people like Betty and her husband who have deeply held convictions and whom could be sued despite the fact that providing the service would violate their conscience. I spent the better part of this last weekend seeking counsel from smarter people than me about this legislation. After having consulted with 3 judges and several attorneys, I'm convinced that current Tennessee law protects our business owners from the type of lawsuit harassment we've seen in other states. Current law defines protected classes and does not allow for discrimination if you are a member of one of those protected classes. That's why we do not and should not allow discrimination based on race, sex, religion, color, national origin, etc. But at this time, it's my belief that Tennessee law does allow business owners to choose to provide or refuse services based on consumer conduct. In Tennessee, if a business owner, let's say a restaurant owner for example, has decided he or she does not like the political views of an office holder who's against same-sex marriage, that business has the right not to serve that person under state law. On the other hand, the same protection applies to the business owner who, because of their beliefs, do not want to offer their wedding services to same-sex couples. This is not just a hypothetical example. This happened here in Tennessee not too long ago, and I do find it ironic that the ACLU and many of the people we see opposing this legislation did not jump to the defense of the office holder who was refused service based on his political beliefs. Just in the last week and a half, we've seen liberal activist judges overrule the will of the people in our neighboring states, Kentucky and Virginia, by overturning their constitutional amendments defining marriage as between a man and a woman. In 2006, over 81% of Tennessee voters also voted to define marriage as between a man and a woman. And it's a shame. It's a shame that we're here at all discussing the protection of business owners' rights in this regards, but because of liberal court judges across the country, we must stand prepared. Mr. Chairman, I'm certainly amenable to allowing time to review the court rulings and will honor your request. But after talking with legal experts, I'm also convinced that in Tennessee we are protected from the types of lawsuits that we've seen in other states at this time. And I respectfully move that this bill be placed in general sub.
At the request of the sponsor, to general sub. Number 6 on your calendar is SJ